Thank you. How you doing, guys? Let's try the sound. Yes, sir. Think it would be okay, as usual. Sound okay as well. That's great. Happy to be here with you guys. I hope you're doing well. Almost the end of the week. Hi. Gonna wait for the people to come. We catch a nice trade yesterday on DAX. And I catch a very nice trade yesterday too during the afternoon on the SP 500. So I'm going to show you guys all of that today. Maybe we'll have a trade to take together at 9:30. Let's see. We're gonna wait for the opening, and while waiting for the opening, I'm going to show you the trade that I took yesterday. It was a very, very nice trade, actually, as you know, very easy trade to spot. So yeah, we're gonna dive into it. 39%, that's great. Alright, so today might be a good session actually. As you guys can see on the 4 hour, we had this SMT. Let me just, where are my tools? Here, perfect. So here, big SMT formed yesterday during the New York session, right? And again, as I told you guys, SMTs are very strong signals. Here we got this SMT, then price is dropping right now. Took the lows on ES, still above the lows here on NQ. Gonna mark down this imbalance. Alright, I think we're bearish to be honest, but let's see how the session displays at 9:30. We might have a trade, an interesting trade to take. Let's see, honestly. Let's see. All back later. So, yeah, for those that were with me yesterday, as you guys know, we had a nice trade on DAX. So I'm going to display this like that here. So I'm going to show you again the trade that I could have took yesterday because I didn't took the trade. I might start to be interested in the DAX because during the London session it actually moves pretty, can be interesting to trade the DAX. I might start to be more into it now that I know that trades can be interesting too on this index. I don't know if it's an indices, like the German indices, kinda. So yesterday we've got this imbalance here. Well, it was more on the 4 hour, if I can remember correctly. I hate when trading view is lacking like this. So we've been into this imbalance. Maybe you guys remember here we had this rejection in this imbalance here. So it was basically something like this. Pretty easy trade actually. Okay, here, yeah, you can see the candle that was forming on the 4 hour, reaction here on this 4 hour imbalance, liquidity to take here on the highs, big imbalance here on the daily. All right, so that's a great target if you want to long the market, just above here. So yeah, 4 hour bullish as we were respecting this FVG, and on the 15-minute we had this inversion here. Where I did took the position here, right? So, you know, pretty easy trade, but that's basically how I trade, right? Reaction into FVGs, being in the discount if I want to buy here. It was the case. So basically institutions are just repricing into a discount zone, okay, in a fair value gap, reacting strongly to this fair value gap, creating an inversion, and then, you know, it's very obvious why it's going to happen. We just take out this liquidity, we're reacting to this imbalance. You already touch your TP, and then if you want to trade here, I mean, you got this breaker block over here, and again, you could have traded here, I guess. I didn't, of course, but it's just to show you guys that, you know, price is not random, right? It's never random. It's always reacting to stuff, right? Here it was our first trade in the morning, but you could have traded here during the afternoon too. Pretty obvious again, you know. What do we got? Taking out this liquidity, reacting to this CB here after taking out liquidity. Again, after we take out liquidity, we want some inversion to be formed on the market. Here we have our inversion here, breaker block here, and you can take the trade, protect this high, and then, you know, price drop as it should. It's always pretty logic, you know, if you can wait for the good setups, it's not hard to make it in trading. I mean, not that hard. Now let's take a look on the trade that I took yesterday. It was a long on ES, so it was here. So again, very easy trade. That's the 9 a.m. candle. As you can see, we opened at 9:30, very bullish. Before opening the session, we had, you know, this took on liquidity here. We took liquidity below this low. We, of course, evolving in a discount zone of the day. We got this inversion here, as well as this breaker block here. All right, so you have a lot of different zones to trade on. Here I'll mark the breaker like this. If I just wait for a retracement here during the afternoon, okay, so here, sorry, for those who follow me on Instagram, you might saw it on my story. Okay, so that's before the opening. We take out liquidity below this low. We, you know, candle close above the low, so it's like a take on liquidity. We push price higher. We create this breaker block. We come back into the discount zone of the day on the breaker block 2 and on the IFVG, the 1 hour IFVG. See how many PDR waves we got. So it's very easy for me then to just, you know, go on the 5 minute. Oh no. What happened? Okay. Nothing crazy. Why TradingView is lacking like that? I hate when TradingView is fucking lacking like this. Okay, well, I don't know. If the 5, maybe it's because of the 5 minute. Okay, cannot work. Well, can show you on the 1 minute the same. Okay, so basically, you know, here it was like almost 11 New York time. We came back into this PD array. We created here an inversion, clear inversion on the 1 minute. IFVG here. And then I took my trade over here around this area. Can I go on the 5 minute now or not? Yeah, I basically took my trade here just after this engulfing bullish candle, and I targeted an R2, which was more like this. Yup, something like this. Exactly. And then, you know, it's not working. I'm not going to get mad. Here, all right. That was my trade yesterday. So again, very obvious. 1 hour breaker, 1 hour inversion, you know, price retrace into the discount of the day and extend again above this high. So pretty easy. I'm gonna go in on Trade Locker in a few minutes just to show you guys how to use Trade Locker, how to find everything on Trade Lockers. Yeah, exactly. You can find in the FAQ. Let me see. So, on Trade Locker, DAX, it's basically DAX. If you want to trade GER40, it's DAX. DAX. If you want, I can share my screen with you. Si tu veux trader le GER40, c'est DAX, DXA, tout simplement. DAX, pardon. T'as trouvé? Patterns, DAX. Ça, c'est comme ça que tu vas pouvoir trouver sur Trade Locker le DAX, tout simplement. Alright, so that was my trade yesterday. Again, I'm always trading the same pattern. I'm always trading the same strategy. It's a matter of patience, you know. Some weeks are bad, some weeks are better. You just have to be patient and wait for those kind of setup to show up. Here it was obvious, you know, very, very clean setup, you know. Take on liquidity behind this low, up, that's it. Voilà, très simple. On prend les liquidités en dessous de ce low, on crée une première impulsion haussière, on revient sur le breaker block, on revient sur l'inversion H1, ici, retracement dans la zone de discount du jour. Sur du 5 minutes, qu'est-ce qu'on peut voir dans le breaker block? Une bougie englobante bullish. Sur d'une minute, si tu aimes aller sur d'une minute, tu peux voir un breaker block, tu peux voir une inversion. Tout est parfaitement clair, tout est parfaitement parfait, j'ai envie de dire. Hop, on revient et on crée une nouvelle leg haussière. C'est clean, c'est clair comme de l'eau de roche, ça ne peut pas être plus clean que ça. Maintenant, la seule chose que tu dois faire en trading, c'est attendre que ces setups show up, c'est-à-dire attendre que ces setups se forment sur le marché. C'est la seule chose que tu dois faire. Et après, est-ce que c'est galère de devenir rentable? Non, pas du tout. C'est la chose la plus simple. C'est juste que être patient, parfois, c'est tout simplement ce qui t'empêche d'exploiter ton plein potentiel sur les marchés. Hier, il y avait un trade le matin sur le DAX, un trade l'après-midi là. Il y a des trades partout. Tu n'es même pas obligé de tout trader. Tu peux juste te contenter de trader uniquement les indices, uniquement le DAX, uniquement l'euro USD, ou en tout cas trader des actifs sur lesquels tu vas pouvoir retrouver ce genre de setup 1 à 2 fois par semaine. Et puis, c'est largement suffisant. C'est simple comme bonjour. It's simple like bonjour. Alright? So today again, might have a setup for you, for me. I mean, I would have preferred that those lows would be still available before the opening, but now price already took them. So let's see what we can get. We'll see. If we close above these lows, we might have a retracement during the afternoon. If we don't close if we do close below these lows, we're gonna be bearish for the rest of the day, I guess. So let's see. Let's see what's up. I'm gonna show you a bit of the dashboard just to wait for the opening. Here we go. Up. So for those who are not trading with us yet, quick tour of the dashboard. As you can see, that's a two-step 100K account, okay, that I didn't trade on yet. So you have all, the accounts that are here. Here you have all the objective, the rules. So the maximum drawdown here on a 100K two-step, it's 8K. So here you have this information, the floating loss ratio. You cannot exceed per day a loss of $3,000. All right. Trade open duration, of course, has to be at least 1 second for the trade to be legit. Here you have the daily drawdown, which means that you cannot exceed, again, $3,000 per day in terms of loss. Inactivity days, you have to make sure that you have at least 1 trade per month. Here, trading days, you have 3 minimum trading days, okay, in order to pass the challenge. And profit target, of course, for the first step, it's $6,000. All right, so I'm gonna take the trade now. All the trade that I will take with you guys during the lives will be taken on this account. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it's evolved and stuff like this. All right, so if you want to trade here with Trade Locker, you just have to click here, trade now, and you will be redirected directly on Trade Locker. Here, as you can see here, I have different account. I'm gonna go for the 100K account, this one. So as you can see here, you have the DAX. I can choose the DAX to go in my favorite watch list. Just right click on it and ajouter au favori, and you will see here that it appear here. So NAS 100, SP 500, DAX. I can, of course, trade whatever I want. Everything is in here. So again, very easy to use. Trade Locker. It's like TradingView. You can choose here your favorite time frames. You can choose your favorite tools over here. You can change the color of the chart. let's say that I want a white background on my chart. I just have to go here. All right, maybe a gray background, let's say. Here I want the black candle to be, no, let's say I want blue candle, black candle here. I can change everything that I want. See? Perfect. And then if I want to trade, I just have to click on those buttons. I can go in full screen. If I want to put an order limit, I just have to click here, limit order, and I would be able to drag this blue line just to, let's say I want to set limit here. I can put my stop loss here, my TP here, and I just have to click here, and my pending order would be displayed on the chart. Very easy to use, actually. Now if I want, of course, delete this order, I just have to click here, or I can go here in pending order and just click here on this cross here. That's it. Je sais pas si vous avez des questions sur TradeLocker, les gars. Si vous avez des questions sur TradeLocker, if you guys have any question on TradeLocker, it's the time for you to ask me this question. Salut. I'm doing well. What about you? How to use partials? Yeah, good question. I'm going to show you right now. Well, I'm going to use another account to show you because this one would be traded correctly. Hi guys. So as you can see, all the modification that I did on the other account is now displaying here too. You don't have to do the modification on each account, which is pretty good. So if you want to take partials, it's pretty easy. Let's say that you're selling here. You just have to click here. If you want to add a stop loss or something like this, okay, here for instance, or take profit here, okay. And then if you want to take partials, you can do that normally here, okay, and you can exit partially by doing here, modifier la position ouverte. How do you do partial again? I do remember, I thought it was like this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Go to position. Yeah, true. I do remember that I succeed doing a partial closing, but I thought it was here. Exactly, okay, it's here. So it's basically here, well, in French, as you can see on the screen, fermeture partielle de la position. And here, exactly, you now can adjust the lot that you want to let on the market. So let's say here I wanna close half of my position at this price. I can just click here, right? And half of my position would be closed. So it's basically over here. It's not the closure, it's not fermer la position, it's fermeture partielle de la position, of course, so it's, yeah, partial are here. and you just have to choose a lot. So now if I close again 0.25, think it would be the full position now. Yeah, exactly. Now I close the whole position. All right. Well, let's see. Because the way you do is on direct mode. Yeah, can you put an order? What do you mean? Oh, okay, yeah, understood. Actually, I don't use partials. I'm not a pro on doing partials. Let's try. You want a partial, like putting a partial in a specific, at a specific price, right? That's your question. If it's that your question, I mean, yeah, I think you can. True, 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 true. That's true. That's completely true. I don't know. Here you cannot. You might maybe set a fake TP, not a full TP. Let's see. Here. So. TP. Maybe it's something in here. Oh, yeah, it's here. No? Maybe it's here. Lots. If I want to close, like, yeah, I think it's here. Let's say that I want to close this amount of my position here. I just have to, yeah, it's like this. I don't know if you, oh, it's just an example, Lucas. It's not the real position. I don't know, Sebastian, if you see how I did it. Let me know if you saw. So again, maybe just to see you again, you just have to click here. Yes. You're welcome. All right, so next question. I have a question regarding the buffer is applied only on withdrawal before first withdrawal. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Before the first payout, you basically have the same drawdown that you had during the challenge phase. So for a two-step, it's 8%. Okay, let's see how price move. You mean a time limit? Time-wise, yeah. Yeah, it's 1 month. Yeah. Well, you might have to activate it as soon as possible once you reach the target, right? I mean, I don't know. You mean because of you would like to wait to pay the activation fee or something like this? Because I mean, if you reach the target, I would guess that you want to trade as soon as possible on your fund that account. But yeah. I mean, can be specific depending on the case. So if you really want, if you have like a specific reason that blocks you to pay the activation fee, you can reach the support and explain them why, or oh, you want to validate order challenger before. Yeah, well, just reach the support and explain your situation. But yeah, usually it's 30 days maximum. Yeah. No, but you're right to ask. Hmm. Let's see what's up today. Now that we took these lows on ES, for me it's not the best price action in my opinion, because I wouldn't be bullish today. I would prefer to sell rather to buy. No, I don't trade gold, but I can see what's up on gold too. Okay, so yeah, that was my yesterday markups here. As you can see, I think it was on the daily chart, or yeah, it was on the 4-hour chart, my bad. Here we have a breaker block, bullish breaker here. Now we back inside this breaker, so we might wait for a reaction that it's actually currently, okay, yeah, here. Currently we are potentially creating an inversion here. So it could be interesting for you to long the market over here. So I don't really trade gold. Well, I don't trade gold at all, but it could be a nice entry over here, protecting this low, right? I mean, we are inside a 4-hour PDRA. We are in the discount of the day. So yeah, you could go for a long. I would wait personally for the closure of this 15-minute candle above this fair value gap, which means that we would have like a CISD, right? An inversion would be better to wait here, but once here you have this inversion, yeah, I mean, you could go for something like this or something like that, depending on how tight you want your stop loss to be. Exactly, yeah. Daily FVG, great, yeah. You have this daily FVG, as you mentioned. You have this 4-hour breaker block. You're in the discount of the day. You have a 15-minute inversion. I mean, there is plenty of stuff that brings you to buy here. So I don't trade gold, but I could buy here. Would be a decent entry, I would say. But let's wait for this candle to close, because you don't need to rush any position, as you know. Back in business here. Hard to tell. Honestly, I'm more bearish than bullish right now. Right now, I mean right now. But it's not a clear Friday for me, and we're not on Friday. Sorry, guys. We're on Thursday. you know, been working a lot, so I'm a bit lost, but yeah. um I don't know, hard to tell. What do you guys think, more bullish or bearish here? Tell me in the chat. Let's see, right? We cannot really pronounce ourselves for now. Yeah, me too. I would say bearish with this HTF SMT, but I wouldn't sell here. I would sell only around these levels, which is kind of far from what we are now. Big target monthly, yeah. Fairly bearish, but too low right now. Exactly, Nano. Fairly bearish, but too low right now. Yeah, we kind of stuck because you don't want to buy right here. That's when you know it's better to sit on your hands, because you know you can understand that we might go higher just to reach this level where the price should go back down, right? But as well, you don't want you don't want to take the risk to go counter trend just because you don't want to trade a retracement, right? It's not the best thing to do. It's better to wait either the zone that you want to trade or just do nothing. Probably from 7. Yeah, true, exactly. Me too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you mean before? Yeah, before the opening, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, for me it was obvious that we were about to take out these lows, but I never trade before the opening. That's my rule, so I didn't took any trade. But in here it was pretty obvious for me that we had to clear our liquidity. But I thought it was going to be during the. I thought this kind of movement was like scheduled for the opening, if I can say. So yeah, I was surprised that we took out this low before the opening, but now we kind of fucked, right? We cannot do something, and that's when you have to be very careful about your addiction to trade, if I can say, because if you want to take a trade here, you might take a loss just because you cannot wait for the price to give you the right entry. How many times I try just to trade a retracement, because I know I'm like, okay, we're gonna go back to this level so I can buy here and exit here, but we could go lower from this point too. We could go lower from this IVG, but we don't want to sell here either. So we cannot do anything right now. We have just to wait. With the current weekly and daily price action, it's difficult to catch the move before getting confirmation or retracement. No doll, no trade, exactly. Yeah, and especially you don't want to sell below the opening price. You don't want to sell in discount. You want to sell in premium. Now, I mean, it might depend on how this candle close for me, actually, because if we have like a clear, if the 4 hour clears out this low and close inside the range here with this SMT going on, I would be interested in longs, ain't gonna lie, because we are reacting to this daily fair value gap here. All right, we're reacting here. We clear up a lot of liquidity here, and as you can see here, the wick, if the closure of this candle is above these lows, these overall lows, you see, these overall lows, but especially these lows, okay? If we close this candle here or here, depend on how the 15 minutes look, but I could be interesting in longs actually, especially now that we can see that we have a clear SMT forming here, right? You guys know that I'm an SMT guy, right? So here we have an SMT. Here we have few inversion already. We have an inversion here. We might have an inversion here too. So again, I'll wait for the 4 hour to close properly, but I could be interested in longs. I could be interested in longs. Yeah, true. But you know, more than a fair value gap, it's more like a resistance at this point, but a daily resistance, right? Has been mitigated, but here again, see how price react to this imbalance every time. Every time that we are reacting to this imbalance, we have like a new leg. Angle might look gone for the NAS. I mean, this low look weak as fuck. Sorry for. Yeah, let's see. Can you look into this pushing breaker block on US oil? Which time frame? Breaker block over here. I mean, I don't see the breaker. Maybe I'm blind, but daily and H4. Oh, you mean this one? Because the only breaker that I'm seeing here is that one. Yeah. If you mean very short the block, I mean US oil, I don't know if I'm on the right pair, but if it's this one, I mean there is only one breaker in here, and it's that one. Or maybe you mean that one. For me, it's not really a breaker, ain't gonna lie. Yes, US oil. Well, US oil, I don't know. For me, we're pretty bearish right now. There is nothing really, there is no signal. Yeah. There is no bearish signal for me right now, ain't gonna lie. Comment déterminer son biais daily? Je vais te répondre dans une minute, mon ami. Elitism might be true in those cases. Why is elitism? What's that? What's that, Lucas? Alors, déterminer son biais daily, pour moi, ça va quand même dépendre des actifs que tu trades. Je dirais que sur les indices, la manière dont je vais déterminer... Bah, après, moi, franchement, je détermine pas réellement un biais daily. C'est plus... le biais daily, je sais pas, c'est pas un mot réellement que j'utilise, même si je comprends tout à fait ce que tu veux dire. Moi, c'est plus la bougie daily, à quoi elle ressemble et à quoi, pour moi, elle pourrait ressembler en fin de journée. En fait, ça va être plus déjà la tendance de fond, je dirais. La dernière inversion H4. La dernière SMT H4. Où est-ce que le prix est par rapport à son opening du jour? Ouais, voilà, si tu veux avoir une vraie réponse, va regarder la vidéo d'Hugo. Je pense que tu pourras Moi, c'est vrai que je détermine pas forcément de biais daily, je vais plus déterminer un biais de la session sur sur les indices. Ça sera pour moi plus un biais de la session qui va m'intéresser. Maintenant, je vais aussi vraiment me baser sur l'ouverture. Ici, par exemple, ce que je peux voir, c'est qu'à l'opening, on a tout de suite, enfin, je veux dire, depuis le début de la journée, on est en train de chuter de manière très claire. On est venu target des liquidités ici. On est en train de réagir à ces liquidités. Donc, la bougie daily, ça pourrait ressembler à ce qu'on appelle, voilà, je sais plus comment, enfin, je suis pas tellement un élève d'ICT, un bon élève d'ICT entre guillemets, mais voilà, opening, low, high, close, quelque chose comme ça. Vous connaissez mieux que moi. En tout cas, la bougie daily, ça pourrait ici ressembler à ça, quoi. Donc ici, hop, on vient purger des liquidités, on crée la SMT ici avec yes, on crée du coup une inversion et au final on clôture comme ça. Donc ça vous ferait, voilà, open, low, high, close. Voilà, je crois que c'est ça. Vous m'excuserez si je bégaye. En tout cas, je me comprends. Je suis un vieux de la vieille, vous inquiétez pas. Je me comprends avec mon vocable. Exactement. Exactement, Lucas. Je pense que Lucas, il a bien compris. Il a bien compris. Donc là, c'est intéressant hein, ce qui se passe. Hein. Là, c'est assez intéressant ce qui se passe. Ici, on voit qu'on va revenir sur la première inversion. La manière dont on va réagir à cette première inversion, ça va être très important. Okay, ça va être très important la manière dont on va réagir à cette première inversion. Si on voit qu'ici, on réagit à cette première inversion, qu'on valide cette première inversion et qu'on va plus haut, et que du coup, bah, cette bougie H4, comme je l'ai dit en anglais plusieurs fois, clôture au-dessus de ces lots. Ah là là, les gars, il y a moyen qu'on crée un petit retournement passager. En fait, pour moi, ici, la bougie de 16 heures, ça pourrait être une bougie de retournement. Je connais que trop bien ce genre de purge avant l'opening. Encore une fois, il faut toujours mettre les choses dans sa tête. Mais pourquoi on purge avant l'opening? Si on purge avant l'opening ici, bah, c'est peut-être pour simplement venir se saisir des stops ici et aller skyrocket durant la session aussi. Vous voyez ce que je veux dire? C'est toujours ça qu'il faut se poser la question. Moi, sur les indices, plus que penser à un biais long terme, je pense à un biais court terme. Je pense à ce que je vois devant mes yeux. Je pense surtout que la bougie H4, elle a 99%, la bougie de 16 heures, elle a 99% de chances d'être une bougie de retournement. Donc voilà, hein, c'est aussi simple que ça. Et les gars, vraiment, et là je vous donne, je vous donne rien parce que vous savez, mais de toute mon expérience accumulée, je peux vous dire que s'il y a bien une chose qui est hyper puissant, c'est les SMT, les gars. Les SMT, c'est vraiment un truc qui fait que le prix tient. En général, quand il y a une SMT comme ça en H4 ou quoi, encore une fois, il faut qu'on clôture au-dessus de ces lots. Pour l'instant, rien n'est fait, mais c'est très 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 puissant. En tout cas, sur les indices, les SMT sont très powerful. I look at SMTs on every time frame actually. I don't discriminate. Je regarde les SMT sur toutes les unités de temps, mais effectivement. Eh les gars, est-ce que je peux vous demander quelque chose là? Je vous parle en français. Est-ce que vous pouvez bombarder le chat avec des petites flammes là, histoire que je fasse une petite story live? Ça me ferait plaisir là. Bombardez-moi ce chat avec des flammes, tout ça là. Il y a 44 personnes, les gars. Balancez-moi des flammes là dans le chat. Balancez-moi des flammes dans le chat là, que je fasse une petite story, les gars. Faites pas les flemmards. Ouais, ouais, les SMT c'est fort. Les SMT c'est fort. Allez, petite story, merci bien. Ouais, voilà, balancez-moi ces flammes dans le chat, les gars. Balancez-moi ces flammes dans le chat. Faites comme Dany. Je vous remercie d'avance. Yes, ça y est. Allez, hop, je vous dis quand c'est bon. Caméra, vidéo. Oui, 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 oui. Allez, allez, allez. Super encore. Merci les gars. Thank you guys. C'est good. Ok guys. Alright. Bah c'est intéressant là, hein. Franchement c'est intéressant ce qu'on voit, hein. C'est-à-dire que là on a une grosse divergence. On a une grosse divergence ici entre. Merci les gars, c'est bon. C'est bon. It's all good guys. Thank you very much. Non, 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 non. Je rentrerai justement sur l'actif qui a pris les liquidités, toujours, personnellement. Je rentrerai toujours sur l'actif qui a pris les liquidités, donc ici le SP, personnellement. Regardez-moi ça. Regardez-moi cette différence. Je regarde jamais le RSI pour être honnête avec toi. Non mais là c'est parce que je suis sur MNQ, je suis un trou du cul. Je suis un baltron. Avec plaisir. MT5, c'est pas, franchement, pour être très honnête avec vous, c'est pas du tout quelque chose qu'on compte ajouter de manière rapide. On va peut-être le faire vraiment si on a une demande accrue, mais MT5, MT4, c'est des licences qui sont pas dans notre priorité. On a vraiment choisi TradeLocker pour la facilité d'exécution. Euh, on va sûrement avoir MT5, hein. Je suis pas en train de dire qu'on va pas avoir MT5, on va sûrement avoir MT5. Après, j'aurai pas vraiment une date à te donner, mais ça va être disponible très sûrement le mois prochain. Ouais, en fait, TradeLocker, c'est juste l'appréhension qu'on peut avoir dessus. C'est simplement l'appréhension vraiment qu'on peut avoir dessus quand on connaît pas, hein. Je peux tout à fait comprendre, on est habitué à trader avec une certaine plateforme, on n'a pas forcément envie de se réhabituer à quelque chose d'autre. Mais regardez les tutos, regardez même aujourd'hui, comme c'est tellement simple, c'est tellement mieux. Ça n'a rien à voir, c'est à des années-lumière de ce que MT5 propose. Je suis désolé. C'est à des lumières de qualité, en termes de qualité, hein. C'est à des années-lumière de ce que MT5 propose, quoi. Donc, ah ouais. Ah, moi non plus, hein, je vais pas faire le mytho, hein. Je pense qu'on a tous commencé avec MT5, MT4, même à l'époque. Pendant des années, on a été habitué à trader avec eux, sur notre téléphone, sur notre PC. Mais je veux dire, quand tu regardes l'interface MT5, PC, Mac et l'interface TradeLocker, enfin, je veux dire, c'est deux mondes, c'est deux salles, deux ambiances là. Il y a 1982 et 2050. C'est. complètement différent, quoi. C'est tellement smooth, c'est tellement... alors, t'as l'impression... Et en plus, genre, je sais pas, c'est vraiment... Moi, je trouve que ça affecte les résultats à un certain niveau. Non, c'est sûr, l'interface ne joue pas forcément, hein, ça je suis d'accord. De toute façon, à la fin de la journée, ce sera, c'est pas ça qui va non plus influencer tes résultats sur le bon ou sur le mauvais, à moins que vraiment on parle d'une interface qui bug ou quoi. Mais si l'interface marche, en vrai de vrai, c'est à la fin de la journée, at the end of the day, c'est soit tu sell, soit tu buy, hein. Hmm, alright, didn't know that. Might, yeah. Ouais, le graphic trading view, c'est pépite. Yeah, could be. Faut que tu checkes les paramètres. Je pense que oui. Je sais pas ce que c'est les bougies antiques, pour être honnête. Bah, comme vous pouvez le voir, là, les gars, c'est pas bon, hein. Là, pour le coup, tout ce que je disais, c'est pas du tout en train de se confirmer. On a clairement une clôture en dessous de ces lots. Donc là, ça confirme plus un biais bearish qu'autre chose. Ouais, c'est ça, moi aussi. Moi, en fait, ce que je trouve vraiment en termes de, je veux dire vraiment, si je devrais résumer en une phrase pourquoi je préfère TradeLocker, c'est cet aspect où tu peux sizer ta position. C'est-à-dire que tu peux littéralement faire comme ici, c'est-à-dire, boum, tu as envie de rentrer par exemple en position, je sais pas, je dis une bêtise hein, évidemment, mais tu as envie de rentrer en position par exemple ici, bah voilà, tu peux faire ça et ça. Et là, tu cliques et tu es en position. Ça, pour moi, ça vaut de l'or. C'est ça qui vaut de l'or, en fait. Et c'est pour ça qu'avec Hugo, on a choisi TradeLocker. C'est parce qu'en fait, le truc, c'est que tu peux directement sizer ta position, tu peux voir exactement combien ton SL il coûte, combien ton TP, enfin je veux dire la valeur de ton SL, la valeur de ton TP, tu peux choisir, en gros, tu es vraiment en train de, ici, comme faire du paper trading, c'est juste trop simple, quoi. Voilà, c'est ça, exactement. C'est le fait de pouvoir sizer ton SL et de l'ajuster, et si jamais tu veux changer en cours de position, tu as juste à cliquer et de nouveau changer, ça c'est trop magique, quoi. C'est ça qui fait toute la diff pour moi. Parce que sur MT5, tu es obligé de faire tes calculs, tu es obligé de faire ci, tu es obligé de faire ça. Oh là là, quand tu es dans le rush ou quoi, ça peut quand même influer tes résultats, hein, on va pas se mentir. Franchement, les gars, c'est typiquement la journée où je prends pas de trade. Je vais vous laisser là parce que du coup, je pense pas qu'on va prendre de position. Maintenant, restez bien à l'affût sur Telegram et sur Discord. Si je vois quelque chose qui m'intéresse, je vous ferai part de tout ça. Je vous ferai part de tout ça et voilà. Mais là, typiquement, c'est voilà, c'est typiquement la journée piégeuse. Et quand on a eu des setups tellement clairs les journées précédentes, c'est là où ça ne sert à rien de redonner au marché par ego quelque chose parce qu'on n'a pas envie de se laisser vaincu par un price action qu'on comprend à moitié. Vaut mieux se dire ok, je le comprends, je vois un peu le délire, mais il n'y a pas exactement ce que je veux, c'est pas assez clair pour que vraiment je me dise là, ça vaut le trade. Donc autant rien faire et puis voilà. Le gold, ouais, pourquoi pas, je vais quand même voir même si je suis pas trader gold. Mais c'est vrai qu'à la limite, le gold, il était clair. Mais encore une fois, regarde comment on clôture au final. Aucune inversion en M15, bien au contraire, on respecte l'imbalance. On respecte ici l'imbalance en M15. Donc pas de clôture, pas d'inversion. Pour moi, ça vaut pas pour l'instant le coup d'être pris en compte. Alright. Well, guys, it was a pleasure, of course. Again, I hope you enjoyed the live. Thank you for being there. C'est vraiment un plaisir d'être avec moi ici, avec vous les gars, franchement. C'est super chill. J'aime beaucoup. On se revoit du coup la semaine prochaine. Je serai en live lundi 9h heure française. Donc voilà, pour ceux qui pourront être présents, je serai en live lundi 9h heure française. So I'll be live here Monday at 9 in the morning, so 9 a.m. So I'll see you there. All right. Have a nice weekend, everyone. May rest during this weekend for everyone, ok? So, reposez-vous bien durant le week-end, les gars. Et prenez soin de vous. On se voit du coup la semaine prochaine, tranquillement. Thank you everyone for being there. See you guys next week. Take care of yourself. All right? Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.